What's up, YouTube? On this episode of Coddiwomple Overland, we're going to be heading to the lesser known areas of the Smoky Mountain National Park.
We don't need a destination, let's go where the river's taking us.
When the majority of people go to the Smoky Mountain National Park, they end up spending the majority of their time in Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg. Occasionally they go to Townsend, but all these areas are pretty crazy, especially on the weekends or during a large rod run, Jeep invasion, or that type of event. Where we want to go is a little more quieter. On this trip, we're going to head a little bit deeper into the mountains, and the first place we're going to go to is Cades Cove. Cades Cove is about an hour to an hour and a half outside of Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg. It's a great place to come and just take a nice scenic drive and look for some wildlife. This area has been settled around the 1820s by European settlers. I'm sure that the Native Americans were here way before that. In 1930, the CCC started developing the infrastructure that you see here today, such as the roads, the bridges, and things of that nature. While the modern roads are new, the structures that are here, a lot of them are not. A lot of them are original structures from the early settlers. The coolest thing about these structures is they welcome you to come in and take a step back in time. And these churches even still hold services on Sundays. One of the biggest attractions to Cades Cove is the wildlife viewing. You can see things such as deer, elk, turkeys, and black bear.
There was a baby black bear laying down next to 3 turkeys.
And sometimes, if you don't see what you're looking for, you can let your imagination speak. We weren't able to see a whole lot of wildlife on this trip, but what we were able to do is take a step back in time and explore some of these old homesteads. After checking out the sights around the visitor center, you can continue on around the loop, or you can turn right onto Parsons Branch Road, and that's what we decided to do. Parsons Branch Road is a one-way gravel road that leads from Cades Cove over to US 129, or the Tail of the Dragon. It's 8 miles long and full of all kinds of scenery and chances to see wildlife. This route has been traveled for over 180 years by the people of the Smoky Mountains. The National Park Service says this is a moderately difficult road and that high clearance is needed. We didn't find either of those to be the case. But what it lacked in technical difficulty is surely made up in scenic beauty. You may encounter some other traffic along this road, but you can spread out and keep some solitude. It's definitely a pretty popular route since its reopening back a couple years ago. With all the different types of trees and vegetation, this is definitely a must-do trail if you're ever in the area during the fall. As you reach the end of Parsons Branch, you find yourself on a blacktop road, US 129, the tail of the dragon. Now you can turn right and go back to Townsend, or you can turn left and go over into North Carolina towards Cherokee, and that's what we decided to do. One thing, if you're on this road and you're driving in a four-wheel drive like we are or something, and you have traffic come up behind you, pull over where you can and let them by. Now let's make our way back to the Cades Cove area. If you pass the visitor center and pass the turnoff to Parsons Branch, you can continue on and make your way on around the cove. This southern side is a lot more wooded, and it has a few more cabins and historic places along it too. Just a couple miles past the cabin is a turnoff, and this is Hyatt Lane. You can turn left and it will take you back over to the northern side of the route. And this will also take you to another trail called Rich Mountain Road. Hyatt Lane is a beautiful straight drive just across the vast fields of the cove. At the end of Hyatt Lane, we turned left and made our way back toward the Missionary Baptist Church. And that's where we turned right onto the Rich Mountain Road. As you wind your way up Rich Mountain Road, you can look off to the right and see out across Cades Cove. This is primarily an all-gravel road that runs for about 7 miles from Cades Cove north towards Townsend. Like Parsons Branch, it's also seasonable, and in the event of bad weather, they close it too. It's also closed to trucks, buses, or anything with a trailer. Really hope you've enjoyed taking this scenic ride with us through the Smoky Mountains. And if you have, please reach up there and hit that subscribe button. It would really help us out a whole lot. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, see ya.